Let's talk about Finn's commands and training tools so that you can stay consistent at home. First thing we're going to talk about is the heel. Heel is on the left side. His shoulder should be about aligned with your left leg on a nice loose leash. About 80 to 90% of your walks are going to be in this position. The other 10 to 20% of the time he can sniff, go potty, explore, as long as he's not pulling you on that leash. So this is the prong collar. This is the collar that I've been using with him in training. So to take this apart, you simply grasp one prong in your right hand, the next prong in your left, and pull down. It doesn't take a lot of pressure, it's just about the leverage that you use. So to put this on Finn, you want it to be nice and high up behind his ears, under his chin. You take this prong in your right hand and pinch it, and just slot it into the next prong. The leash then attaches to this D-ring, the one with the swivel on it. So your corrections with this prong collar are always going to be a quick pop and release. You never want to pull on this leash. It should just be a quick pop and release. So if you're in a heel and Finn starts getting ahead, you'll tell him no, pop on the leash, heel. That's no, pop, heel. Always bring treats with you, especially for your first few walks, and that way you can reward Finn appropriately. When he is with you doing the correct thing, you can reward him with treats, petting, or praise. Next is the sit command. We don't use the stay for any of our commands. We use an implied stay, which means that if he's in a sit, you put him in the sit, he's to stay there until you tell him free or give him another command. So for example, with door manners, you tell him sit at the door, you open the door, and then tell him free to walk through ahead of you or heel to walk through with you. This is a short duration stay. It shouldn't be used for long durations, only short periods of time, like pausing at the door. The down command is used for longer stays. When you are putting them in the down, if he doesn't go into a down when you first tell him, you're going to pop low and to the side rather than straight up like we did with the heel and sit. So if you tell him down and he doesn't go into a down, no, pop down to the side, down. There's no, pop, down. When he does go into a down, you're going to reward him low, either on the floor or under his chin. Always return to him to reward and to release. You don't want to release from a distance. Releasing from next to him will strengthen the power of that stay. Place is very similar. It's a boundary stay. So he can do basically whatever he wants as long as his feet don't leave that boundary. He can stand up, sit down, lay down, turn around, as long as his feet stay on that boundary. Again, with the place command, you always want to return to him to reward and to release. If he were to get off of the bed while you're away from him, you'll tell him no immediately, walk back to him, correct with the pop and release, put him back on the bed. Don't reward at that time, leave again, and then come back and reward. And always return to him to release from that command as with the down. With come when called, you always want to have a leash on while you're practicing. This is a safety measure for both you and him, so that if he does not come when you call him, you can always reel him in. So when you tell him to come, you're going to say, Finn, come, in a very clear voice that he can hear. Praise him as he runs towards you. Have him sit or down and reward him. You always want to reward this command when he comes back to you, because you want to build a very strong reward history with coming back to you when called, because you want him to always come back. Now, if he were to not come back, because you're practicing with the leash, you can tell him no, pop on that long line, and tell him come again, and he should come back to you. And again, always reward him even if you had to correct, because the correction happened out there and all the fun things happen when he comes back to you. The last command is leave it. Leave it is a correction in itself, so you don't need to say no if he doesn't do it. So say you drop food on the floor you don't want him to get, you'll tell him leave it. If he still tries to go for it, you'll hop on his leash, tell him leave it. You don't need to use no here. So the commands that we use are sit, down, place, come, heel, leave it, and free. This prong collar can be used, should be used only when you have the leash on. It shouldn't stay on him all day or be on him when you don't have a leash on, because we don't want it to get caught on anything. So now we're going to show you some of Finn's commands.
Good boy. Yo, yo. He's not going to. Heel tap.
Leave it.